this stuff to do that. Anyway, today we're going to cover a brief history of World War II, all the countries involved in it. So behind me, here's all the flags. That country, that's USA, Britain, France, Germany, Poland is also involved in it, but we'll continue on with that later on. It'll be said by someone else.
Right. So before I got rudely interrupted there by the cave falling on me, got to escape through the portal, very useful thing. Anyway, I'm going to tell you the rest of it. So with the video, we're going to have information about letters, animals, that even got award medals, letters, how they were sent, but, and the Holocaust. We're going to talk about how Jewish people were captured and enslaved in camps. They were taken in, looked after, but in a very harsh matter way. We'll have someone else explain that, not me. That's not my job.
Back in the 1940s, phones weren't nearly as accessible as they are now, so soldiers would use letters to communicate with loved ones. In these letters, they'd talk about the experiences they've had in the war. For instance, one letter talks about a soldier recalling his first time having to sit out of the war due to injury. He said that he had come close but never needed to sit out the full 18 days, and how there had been people much worse off than him. As well as this, letters would often be used to give information to soldiers through the use of carrier pigeons. In fact, the UK used roughly 250,000 carrier pigeons for several reasons. It was even considered to have them deliver small explosives to a target. However, this idea was scrapped and the use of pigeons in war was later stopped in 1948. Pigeons were not the only animals used in the war. However, a dog called Raw received the Dickon Medal, which is a special medal given to animals. He received his Dickon Medal in February 1945. He had made over 20 parachute descents, was a guard dog, and also a messenger serving in the SAS.
Hello, and this is where it all starts. Increasing in violence. It started by an unknown Austrian trying to take charge of one of the most violent European countries at the time. This was the Austrian leader who became the leader of Nazi Germany. This was to prove a point, attempting to show strength in his new army and take over Europe. And he introduced himself as Adolf Hitler, and the name is to be remembered. Trust me, you need to remember it. Now, moving on to the first country that he invaded, which was Czechoslovakia. This first invasion was to prove a point of power, while also bringing in non-German speaking soldiers within his army. Adolf Hitler didn't really want a greater Germany. It sort of put him off with wanting to make his army completely different and strive to build his army. But many of the soldiers and part of Germany were interested in making it a greater Germany. Right now, in my opinion, this is even more confusing than the last part. Nazi Germany attempted to invade Germany, but ended up accidentally invading Poland, then continued out of Poland non-aggressively to keep peace with the Polish. Here are three flags which the Nazis failed to invade. Although they were known as the strongest army, they never compared to the strength of Great Britain, France and the USA. And now we will move on to talk about more about the Holocaust. This is the concentration camps, and this is where most, if not all, of the Jewish civilians were moved to once captured by the Nazis. And here is another image of the concentration camps, and the camps shown were used for holding Jewish civilians and tricking them into different tasks and locations. Here is a gas chamber which was used as a trick to lure the Jewish in for showers, and they're used as mostly by the Nazis to quickly kill many Jewish at once. Here are the images of the tracks that were used to bring in the Jewish from the towns, and this was the Nazis' pleasure. The Jewish were used as slaves while in the concentration camps, and the Nazis made the entire of the Jewish work for them and their food. This caused them to be tired, and it frustrated the Nazis' guards. And here are some malnourished Jewish people who haven't been fed in a couple of days, and it slowly slows them down with doing their work, and had more of a punishment for them as time went on. Now on to more information about the Holocaust.
Hello, today I would like to talk to you about your experience as a survivor from the concentration camps that you had to go through as a child. What was your experience as an Auschwitz?
We arrived in the middle of the night, and in Auschwitz you could smell the fear. You really could smell it. And we had to go through selection. We didn't know it was selection, but that's what it was. Mengele, whom you may have heard, was standing there, and he looked at you and then sent you to the left or to the right. The left was the side for living, and the right was the side for gas. We were herded into a huge hall and told to undress. And then somebody came and shaved all our hair. And then we were herded into another room where we were sat on benches, like in a theater, stacked. And by then people who had been there for some time told us, you'll go to the gas chambers. And so we sat there, and I must say I sat there and didn't know whether it would be water or gas. It was water.
Finally, I would just like to ask you, as a survivor, how would you like the Holocaust to be remembered?
The best way to remember it would be if people could learn from this experience so that it's not repeated. And in fact, it's something that I've never felt that I needed to revenge myself. And although the Germans were able to take away all my physical, almost everything, except my life, they left me alive, but whatever could be removed from my body, they removed from my body. They couldn't remove my soul.